Hello, Captains. It's me, TONIK TZW. We're here on the free-to-play account. I have got loads of games on my main account, but playing free-to-play with standard commanders and not even max level and then having a really great game in it just goes to show that you don't have to throw tons of money at this game. We're here in the Tier 5 premium ship, West Virginia. I now have a premium at every level, and those have all come from free crates that I've gotten. I haven't spent a single penny on this account, and I think I was going to call this one "Do I Smell?" But I missed the train, and the train in this game is the lemming train. We spawn on this flank. We've got a DD there in front of us who I have no idea why he's rolling his smoke as he goes into the cap. But we also have a Hugo who we know has long-range guns, but he's going to go and park himself behind a hill. The guy to keep an eye on this game is not me, it's the destroyer that's heading into B cap all alone, while his supporting ships that spawned with him on B are going to head all the way across to A cap, and that's where the train is going to be. But like the tortoise and the hare, the West Virginia isn't the fastest of ships, but we are going to get to victory before the train gets there, and we are going at a snail's pace. We've got a New Mexico. I'm hard spotted, means there's a destroyer out there. I'm trying to get a hold of this guy to say, can you give me a little bit of help on this flank? But he obviously appears quite content to be hugging his rook. Honestly, I think there should be a market for those on Amazon, a big rock that you can sit and hug. I'm sure they'd make a lot of sales from captains in Legends. But I'm trying to keep this DD covered. There's torpedoes. I drop spot for a second, but there's the destroyer. We just about to fire, and we lose sight of him because he smokes up. But the destroyer is going to do the right thing. He's going to push him and get him spotted. And I'm trying to get round this island without slowing myself down by hitting the white line. My guns are slapped on where that guy is waiting. Hard spotted again. Here we go. You battleship captains that say it's a cruiser's job to shoot at destroyers. It is everybody's job to shoot at a destroyer, because that just changed the way that he is going to play his game. And I'm sort of screaming down my mic at this point and saying, use your guns, use your guns, use your guns. But the Matsuki there is kiting him straight in front of a battleship. He's finally taken on his guns, but there we go, bang, he is gone. I get another salvo off of that Matsuki. You did see fire coming in from the Jaguar as well. Tap on the backside, but it's not enough to kill him. But the Jaguar is going to come up trumps there and finish him off. And now we have a battleship in front of us. We've got a battleship on our flank, but we've also got a battleship in front of us who I think is a Fuso. And I am flat broadside to this New Mexico. I'm looking at where our Hugo is, and he's decided that he doesn't want to be on this flank because everybody else has gone and stacked on the far left corner. They do have two destroyers across there on red team, but we also have a destroyer across there. So they should be able to support each other and help take that destroyer out, but they haven't been able to push the cap yet. That guy takes torpedoes. I'm going to give him a couple of well dones because he does an absolutely amazing job on this, and we're going to put our salvo across there, and then we're going to sneak behind this island and give ourselves some cover from him and get our bow into this Fuso. Now, my knowledge of the game doesn't stretch as far as to knowing which ships have exactly which size guns, what the bow armor is, and who can overmatch and who can't. What I do know is that if I shoot at a ship and my shells bounce off it, then I'm going to shoot somewhere else at that ship, and that's the logic that I use to give myself an advantage. But this guy is against the white line. He sails straight into it. He's going away at an angle, so I'm quite certain that he understands that his broadside is very, very punchy. Watching what's going on with the cap, the Jaguar there takes out that battleship with torpedoes, and he's now going to push in onto the cap. Now, I'm pushing forward thinking I've only got this guy here, but no, there we go. Another New Mexico appears. He is flat broadside to me, and we are going to give him a little bit of a tickle, and we've slammed our engines into full reverse because I'm thinking tactically at this very moment. I'm not going to push out against two battleships on my own. What I am going to do is sit tight because this Jaguar player has got his head screwed on the right way. And I often say it in my destroyer games that the most painful thing that you have to do is sit in a capture point, taking yourself out of the game for an entire minute while that cap turns. It is the most awful thing in the world to do. So I'm going to back up and give myself a little bit of distance from these two battleships. This New Mexico is completely clueless. A quick check behind there to make sure I'm not going to reverse into the island. And we are using front guns only. And let's get a lead on this guy. Front turrets again. The cap is about turned, and I know that that Jaguar is going to have his torpedoes reloaded. So we're going to let him push out towards those guys. So this is why I say you should always keep an eye on the minimap with what is going on, who's around you, who's doing what, and how you can support each other. The New Mexico decides that he's had enough of sailing broadside and getting battered, so we put our shots onto the Fuso, and there is another citadel. So that's two citadels on him in quick succession. We pick up a high caliber, which is 30% of the overall hit points of the red team, and we are only just coming up to halfway through the game. The destroyer has now pushed out. He's got his torpedoes on the way, and that's good for me. New Mexico's turning broadside again. And looking at this, what I don't want to do is put myself in a position where I can't angle against one or both of these ships. What I'm looking for is what their reloads are when they're firing, and I'm going to try and angle myself to the ship that is most likely to be ready to shoot at me. But he gets a torpedo on the New Mexico, and that looks like a flood is ticking. The Fuso now realizes that there is a destroyer out here, and of course RNG is going to desert us. New Mexico has fired his guns. The Fuso takes another citadel, but it's not quite enough to kill him. We're up to 120,000 damage. This New Mexico's got a very good reload on, but I think what he's doing is rotating through his turrets. We bounce some shots off the Fuso, and he's flat broadside, so you think, yep, this guy is gone. He's out of the game. No, he's not. We get just under another 6,000 damage, so surely these two turrets must take care of him. The answer is no. We only get 2,000 off that one, so my front turrets are going to come up again. So we're going to push slowly into this New Mexico, let the secondaries go to work because we know he had a flood, and so a fire from the secondaries is likely, to take this guy out of the game. The Fuso is no longer a risk, but we've got that long reload on our front turrets again. The New Mexico is burning, and I'm quite certain that he would burn out to the secondaries, but we're going to wait for this reload, and we're not going to give him the chance to do that, are we? Because with 6 seconds to go, I was thinking, can I ram this guy and get a die-hard medal? Well, there's the turrets, and there is the coup de grace on the New Mexico, 145,000 damage. Now, all the while this has been going on, the Huger has been sailing all the way across the other side of the map, you can still see he's in the middle of the map, south of B cap. And even though the rest of blue team have managed to only lose one ship across there, you can see that they're sailing around the outside of the map as they manage to pick up the Morvenay. That is our Jaguar player again. But none of those guys have gone anywhere near the cap. And it's like, why? Why aren't you sailing onto the cap? Because it makes it such an easy game to play. Sorry, I didn't. It wasn't the Jaguar killing the Morvenay. I think he got him spotted and called for targeting. But there we go. They've managed to get rid of the destroyer, which leaves one ship running for his life. And I think now they're just finishing him off. 145,000 damage, let's say, 2 kills, 1 kill assist, high caliber, some beautiful citadel shots, and top of the board. So it may not be the fastest ship in the game. We didn't buy a ticket for the lemming train, but what we did do is buy a first class ticket to victory and top spot on the leaderboard there. So I hope you've enjoyed that one. Don't forget, smash the like button, leave me comments, subscribe if you haven't, and as always, until next time, take care of yourselves and goodbye.